Hello everyone, it's Gladius. So Waylaid supplies at surface level seem pretty simple, but they're a little bit more complicated than that. I already made a video about them, but I missed some things and there's more you gotta know. You're gonna find Waylaid supplies fighting mobs in the world. They're gonna randomly drop, and they're also gonna drop from chests. In fact, more often you will see these in chests. And there's two different stages to these. There's low level supplies and there's high level supplies. Now inside each of these brackets, there's also difficulty ratings. You're gonna get more reputation and gold for completing the more difficult one. So for example, let's look at a low level tier 1 supply. Right here, we're either going to get 100 or 300 reputation. The faction we're getting reputation with is the one of these two, depending on if you're on Horde or Alliance. So either one of these factions is going to be able to do the same thing for you. First of all, when you hit friendly, you're going to be able to buy some gear. There's going to be an option for each of the different armor types, and also a bag as well. The bag is 10 slots. You can only have one of them, and it's 45 silver. A little pricey, but not really that bad. Pretty nice to have. More importantly though, once you reach Honored, you're able to buy runes. Each class has a rune that's locked behind this reputation. Some are way more impactful than others. Rogues, I'm sorry, you got to farm this out before you can tank. So we know what the faction does, why we want the reputation. Now, when these drop, we get two choices. We can either turn them in with no supplies attached, or we can fill the order, fill it with the items it needs, and then turn it in and get more reputation. Let's go back to the example again. So if we find brilliant small fish, we find the Waylaid supplies brilliant small fish, we could either just turn it in empty and we would get 100 reputation, or we could fill it up and we would get 300 reputation when we turn it in. Let's look at this second tier of those. So now again, we're looking at it. We have 100 reputation or 450 reputation. So if we fulfill the order, we're going to get 450 reputation, which is way more. If you can afford it, buy the items off the auction house. If you have the profession also, it's great to take advantage of this and put those items up on the auction house, because you know people are trying to fill their supplies. Everybody wants to get their runes, so it makes sense to take advantage of that. So same thing applies. If you fill it, you get 450. If you don't, it's 100. Now, all those supplies we just talked about, these types are going to work up until friendly. Now let's talk about the honored ones. These are going to be level 25 Waylaid supplies. You're going to try to find these from level 25 mobs or near 25. You're going to want to fight level 25 mobs or higher level mobs for these. An example of a great farming spot that a lot of people are doing are the bristleback camps that are north of Camp Tarajo. There's going to be a high mob density, a lot of mobs to kill, and you're randomly going to find these supplies. Now, these add an extra tier on top of that. So we have the low level, 200 or 500, depending on it's empty or filled. The medium level, 200 or 650, depending on if it's empty or filled. This higher tier, 200 or 800 reputation. And these are very expensive to fill, by the way. For example, Elixir of Firepower is going for up to close to a gold, and you could have to fill up to 8 of those in a supply crate. And I'd say this early in the game, it's probably not worth it to dump all your gold on that, but you do you. I know there's some people that are really wanting to get their rune as fast as possible, and go for it, go for it. But what I've been doing when I run into these, and I'm playing Hunter, and I'm interested in my rune that's on the vendor, but I'm not willing to sacrifice my gold. I'm saving that right now. And this is more of a reputation grind over time. So I'm not in a rush. I'm saving my gold, but you make your decisions. So now let's put it all together. What we want to do is we want to go to zones that have chests spawning in them. Really, that bristleback camp is great because you can find some chests in the area. There's several different clusters and areas for the bristlebacks to spawn, and you can just farm them and try to get Waylaid supplies. Now, when you're deciding on your own farms and you're trying to think of good places to farm, what you want to do is aim for mobs that are level 25, and if possible, make it a spot that chests do spawn. Chests will spawn in a lot of different places in Classic. It's just about discovering the ones that people haven't found just yet. Who knows? Maybe we could even go into higher level territory if we have the gear for it. All right, everyone. I wanted to add on to my previous guide and give a little bit more information about Waylaid supplies. Hopefully I added something new here and helped you out. Now, hunters, if you're still looking for your runes, check the description. I have all the runes linked in the description, the fastest way to get them. And if the video did help you out today, please heroic strike that like button. And if you want to stay tuned for more WoW content in the future, please bash the subscribe. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.